Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Steph Sapego. I am a recruiter for the United States Army, and here are 5 things that you should know about the Army. Number 1, everybody in the Army gets paid. Yes, we do. How much do we get paid? Well, it depends on the rank that you have, and it depends on how many years you've been in the Army and the area where you live at. So, for example, I am a staff sergeant in the United States Army. I spent about 14 years in the Army, and I'm stationed in Miami. So, what did I make personally last year? What the Army paid me? I made a little bit over $72,000. That's after taxes taken out. I have no idea how much I made before that. I think we have a statement. I just didn't look at it. I look at the money that goes in my pocket. So here I am. I made $72,000 over last year. Now, like I said, the amount of money that you can make in the Army, it all depends on how long you're going to stay in the Army, what your rank, and where you're geographically located. Number 2 is you can pick the job that you want to do in the United States Army. Army is just like a civilian employer. We have almost every job out there possible. We have 150 different jobs. So when you join the Army, you pick the job that you want to do. Now, what that means is just it's not they're going to give you a gun, or as we call it, a weapon. They're going to send you to war and your job is going to be shooting stuff. That's not how it works. Before you sign a contract, you pick the job that you are most likely qualified to do. Now, your job determination is going to be determined by 2 factors. 1, your ASVAB score, and number 2, they're going to look at the availability. It's pretty much they're going to look at what you want to do and how many training seats are available for that particular job, the whole United States wide. So, but you can pick the job that you want to do in the Army. Now, the list of the jobs is on our website. You can go to goarmy.com and you can go through every single job. It's going to be a description of a job, what you do, what the qualifications are. So, I mean, you can be a cook in the Army. You can be a musician in the Army. We have our own music band, right? So we have our own multimedia illustrators. We have our own newspapers. We have our own mechanics. We have our own IT guys. We have our own medics. So we have our own nurses. We have computer technology. We have informational technology. We have our own engineers. So, I mean, the list goes on. So there's a very few jobs that one will be able to do that you can do in the civilian side, but almost any job available outside, you can get it in the United States Army. So another thing that comes with the job is obviously the training. Army is the only place that would do a paid training, meaning they're going to pay you to get trained for a particular job. And then while you're in the Army, let's say you sign a 2-year, 3-year contract, this is actually your actual experience within your particular career field. So let's take nursing, for example. If you get your associate's degree in the nursing, what the first thing you're going to do, you're going to look for a job. The first thing they're going to ask you when you go for interview, they're going to ask you, what experience do you have? Now, if you're a fresh graduate out of the college, you didn't have prior experience, you don't have any experience. And how do you get experience? You get hired. But how do you get hired? People ask you first thing, what experience do you have? So you see what I mean? Now, the beauty about the Army, once you get trained, you can be a nurse in the Army as well, right? So you get the Army certification. The credits that you earn throughout your military career, throughout your military training, they actually transfer to civilian colleges as well. So at the same time, while you get military training, you earn military credits and you also earn a civilian credits. So in case if you want to transfer them to a civilian college, you can get your civilian certification as well. So what do you get after 3 years in the Army? You get your military certification, you got actual on-the-job experience, and you got credits that you can transfer to a college to get your associate's degree or whatever degree you're working towards on. Number 3 is you got benefits. So as far as benefits go, what do you get? What kind of benefits? Well, it's simple. The Army takes really good care of you and your family. Now, the Army considers family is you, your spouse, and your claimed children. So, and the benefits you get, first of all, for you, educational benefits. College is getting more and more expensive. So the Army pays for college 100%. It's just a matter of how far you want to go and what college you're going to, but you got educational benefits. So Army claims that they will pay anywhere from $56,000 upwards to $89,000, $90,000. The amount is changing, but you can go check it out on the goarmy.com. Information available as well. And the way it works, you can take college classes while you're in the Army, while you're on active duty. You just take part-time classes and they're covered. Now, you got the GI Bill. So when you're done with the Army, let's say you've done 2 years, 3 years, or you've done 10 years, or you completed 20 years. Once you're done, you can use your GI Bill to go to college. And the Army will pay 100% tuition, and they'll pay for your books. On top of that, if you go to school full-time, right now, they will actually pay you BIH, basic housing allowance, every month, depending on the area where you at. So, for example, I'm in Miami. If you go to Army, you spend 3 years or 2 years to do a contract, you get out and you go to college here, they'll pay for your college. On top of that, they will give you the BIH of an E5 of a sergeant, which is equivalent to about $2,500. You go to college for free. On top of that, while you go into college, they will deposit to your bank account every month $2,500. What do you do with it is up to you. It's for your expenses. Besides educational benefits, you got full health care for you and your family. So what that means is if anything wrong with you, your dental, your vision, anything wrong with you, they'll take care of you. They pay for it 100%. There's no deductible. There's no percentages. It's free. It's 100% free. Doesn't matter if you got a little scratch or if you got, God forbid, the stage 4 cancer and they need to spend millions of dollars on your healthcare. They will fix you up. So same goes for your family. If something wrong with your spouse, they will take care of it. Same thing with your child. Dental, vision, it's just full healthcare. So you also have your VA benefits. So you can purchase a house and it's going to be co-assigned by Veteran Affairs, or you can start your own business and the VA will co-assign for you as well. So if you're looking to buy a house, that would be a really, really good benefit that you can use because you can purchase a home without any down payment or any money down. Another big Army benefit is that the Army pays your bills. Yes, your bills. Now, not all your bills, but the Army will pay for your housing. So if you are in the Army, the housing is free of charge to you. If you're a single soldier, you live in the barracks. Barracks is something similar to dorms in college, where majority of a new barracks, you have your own room. You're gonna have your roommate with its own room. You guys gonna have something like a shared living room and your own shower. All the barracks, it's like one big room, usually divided by the furniture. So one portion is yours, another portion is your roommate's. So you don't pay for the room. You don't pay electricity, you don't pay water, and it's your own private space. So it's already furnished, so all you have to do is just bring the clothes in, your PlayStation, your laptop, you settle in, that's it. You don't pay anything for it. It's paid for you. Now, if you're a married soldier, you actually get a house because you have a family. You get a spouse and you have kids, you're gonna get probably 2 to 3 bedroom house, 1 car garage, your own little backyard. You don't pay anything for it. You do have to purchase some of the furniture, but the sweet thing about that is just it's maintained by the government. If something breaks, you make a phone call, put a work order, the guys come out, they fix the issue, you don't pay $1 for it. The only thing you're responsible for is cutting the grass, make sure the place is clean. Now, if you live outside the base, the Army will give you basic housing allowance for you to pay for your rent, or you can even purchase the house and use that money that you're given towards a mortgage. Army pays for your food. So if you're a single soldier, you go to a dining facility, or as we call it, DFAC. So DFAC, it's more of a buffet style dining facility where it's only open for certain hours, usually for your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and for a midnight chow, as they call it. So usually there's a couple different lines. You go on the line, you pick up the plate, you go, you tell them what do you want on the plate, you eat it. If you're hungry, come back for more. It is free. You don't pay anything for it. Now, if you are a married soldier and you have a family, you got your additional payment of, don't quote me on that, but you can go on the Army website. It's about $350 extra a month towards a grocery. So you can purchase the food that you need and feed your family. So you don't have to pay a rent. You don't have to pay for food. You don't have to pay for medical bills. So whatever you make goes in your pocket, which is a sweet thing. Number 4 is that you get opportunity to travel. So if you like traveling, if your whole life you lived in one place and you would like to get out and experience different states, maybe different countries, different parts of the world, you can do it throughout the Army. Me personally, I started with New York. I've been stationed in Virginia, Minnesota, Cleveland. I went through trainings in California, South Carolina, North Carolina. I've been in Texas. I've been to Utah, Wisconsin. I live in Miami now, and I'm looking forward to potentially moving to Texas. So you get to travel to different places, and the beauty about that, you get to meet you get to experience different cultures and meet different people. So, which is good. For me, it's awesome. Me and my wife, we absolutely love it because once we go to a new place, we discover something new about it, and that's kind of in our head, we try to see where we're gonna settle once I'm done with the Army. So it gives me opportunity to try different parts of the country, figure out which works better for us. Now, on top of the traveling, you guys get 30 days of paid vacation every year. Now, if you don't use those 30 days of paid vacation, your first year is going to roll over to the next year, so you're going to have up to 60. Anything over 60 is called use or lose. If you don't use it, it goes away. So on top of that, we have every single nationally recognized, federally recognized holiday is we usually get 3 days or 4 days off. Majority of them are 4 days off. What that means, they call them 4-day weekends. What that means, for example, Martin Luther King Day, the President's Day, the Labor Day weekend, so we get 4 days off. It has to include the weekend, so we get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. So we get 4 days off. Now, when you go on vacation or you get one of those 4-day weekends, you still get paid. You get paid on the 1st and on the 15th of every month, as long as you do what you're supposed to do. So, and it doesn't matter how many 4-day weekends you had. If you were gone for vacation for a month, you get paid. And that's the beauty about it. I don't think there's any other place where you can start off, be there the first year, and you will have 30 days of paid vacation. So, that's awesome. Number 5, living in the Army. So, as far as living conditions go in the Army, I have a lot of people that come out with all sorts of different misconceptions. So the biggest thing is like, hey, I don't want to be behind bars. I don't want to be in there 24/7. What you guys don't realize is just the Army is like any other job. Majority of the jobs that we have in the Army, they are 9 to 5 jobs. What that means, it means you show up to work wearing this uniform and you work from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, right? So here's a typical day, let's say, of an Army mechanic, right? You would wake up a little bit earlier to do a physical fitness training. Army actually pays you to do your PT, physical fitness training. So you wake up early, you do your running, you do your push-ups, sit-ups, whatever in the program. Then you give you time off to do personal hygiene, to eat, to dress in uniform, and be ready at your work by 9 o'clock. So, and this is your normal daily schedule. So you show up at 9, you go to motor pool, you work in the vehicles, you're doing the things that you're supposed to do within your job field, right? Then they give you a lunch. It can be anywhere from hour to hour and a half, depends on the unit where you're at. So usually between 11:30 or 12 to 1 o'clock. So then you show up back to work. You work from usually 1 to 4:30. That's when they start wrapping up everything, whatever they do. And by 5 o'clock, you guys got final formation. First sergeant comes out, your boss comes out. He looks at what you've done. He tells you you've done great things or everything you've done sucks. We're going to finish up tomorrow. And 5 o'clock, normally you go home. Every now and then they might request you to stay a little bit longer, but the rule of thumb is you work 9 to 5. So that's your normal work schedule. What happens after 5 o'clock? You go back to barracks. I'll tell you what barracks are. You come home, you take off the uniform, you put civilian clothes, and you off duty, you off work. You can do what you want to do. So now, being on Army base, it's like its own gated community. It's its own town. This is not a prison that's designed to keep you in from going anywhere outside. This is not the intention. The Army bases are heavily guarded, and they have perimeter around it. Usually have like some kind of gate, some kind of fence around it. So, because it's a military installation, it needs to be protected. So when you live out there, like I said, it's its own town. Military bases, they have their own banks. They have Fridays, Applebee's, Taco Bell. We have our own malls. Bigger bases, they have their own highway systems, like Fort Hood in Texas, Fort Bragg in North Carolina. They're so big, they have their own highways. So there's a place where you live, there's a place where you work, there's a place when you go shopping. You can go shopping for anything from groceries to appliances to some of them, they sell cars. So we have our own golf courses, swimming pools, gyms, which are free for you and your family. Some have a swimming pool, they have a basketball court, they have a weightlifting room, cardio room. So it's all good stuff and it's free, right? So that's the Army base. Now you can go off base whatever you want. So it's like, as long as you got your military ID, once you're done with work, you can leave place, or for lunch, you can get outside the base and you can go get whatever you want to get and come back. So same thing in the weekends. On the weekends you off, you can be off base. You can go visit your friends. If there's something nearby, a beach or some kind of area or a town that you want to go by any means you go. So as long as you back to work on Monday morning, then you're good to go. So those are 5 things that you guys should know about the Army. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concern, you can actually call me on this phone number, or you can leave a comment below and I'll respond to it. Now, please like my channel, subscribe it for more videos and more description of the Army, and I'll do my best to suit you guys. This is Staff Sergeant Sapego. I'm out.